This is a website for a local business based in Spalding in Lincolnshire. They specialise in residential and commercial window cleaning, as well as gutters, fascias, conservatories and so on. Now, the owner of the business has not been particularly impressed with the effectiveness of the website for a while. The website has been in existence for a number of years and was originally built and is still managed by a local web design agency. But on closer inspection, I found that the number of visitors arriving from Google search were practically non-existent. Now, there could be several reasons why that is the case, and I'm going to look at some of those potential reasons in due course. But on initial scroll of the homepage, I found just a couple of points here. We're almost into the third month of 2023. I noticed that the copyright hadn't been updated, so maybe 9, 10, 11 weeks ago that could have been handled, but it hasn't been. Maybe not a big issue for some, but what was more of a concern to me from a date perspective is that this one that I've highlighted here is a link to a page which was added to the website back in September 2016. That is actually the most recent update that this website has had, other than last year when the copyright was updated. From a user perspective, there are some things which could be improved. I'm going to go back to the navigation at the top here. And what I've found is that the menu below window cleaning services was staggered. Whether it was done like this by design or error, I don't know. The owner isn't that impressed with it. He thinks it should have been just in one column. And indeed, the new version of this website, which is currently under development by ourselves, has these services and more listed in a nice clean column. But what I also found here, and the owner hadn't noticed this, was if you click on this tab here, window cleaning services, we end up nowhere. So what I need to do now is hit the back arrow in the browser to go back to the page that I was on. The pages themselves are accessible without any problem. Arguably, the design could do with a freshen up, and I tend to agree with that. So the new website is actually significantly different. It's much more graphic than this one, much richer colours, and I think it kind of stands out a lot more. I'm not in a position to show you that at the moment, but a couple of things that I want to point out here is that the phone number and this one here, right, one of them's a mobile, one of them's a landline, not that much of an issue here, but neither of those phone numbers have been made into links. Now, certainly from the perspective of a mobile user, if this website was being viewed on a mobile, it would be great for that visitor to have a simple button displayed on that web page that could be hit by the thumb, and they're simply just one click away from talking to the company. So the new website is making all of these phone links into, all of these phone numbers into links, but using styling specifically for mobile, they're becoming buttons. They're represented in a different way for the desktop version. Looking elsewhere on this website, we can see that there are links to social media, Twitter here, Facebook. Both of those links work correctly, although it has to be said that neither of those accounts have been maintained much in recent years. Google Plus, though, now this link clearly works, but Google Plus actually stopped in April 2019. Now, at time recording this video, that means that it's nearly 4 years ago since that button became inactive, and there was prior notice that Google Plus was ceasing, so for a professionally managed website, I cannot see any reason why that button has not already been removed. Elsewhere on the website, we have mentioned that there are instances of outdated content, the most recent one being September 2016. Now, I'm sure that there are many websites out there which have content which is even older than this. The reason that this has become a problem for me is that it has a date stamp on it. So if it didn't display the date that it was published, then that might not have been that much of a concern. However, it does, and it suggests that the company is not really that active in maintaining its website, even though they might still be active in reality. One other thing that I did find, though, is that as I was casually looking through some of the blog pages, I noticed some content which I'd seen before. So I'll give you an example by searching in Google for one of those pieces of content. The content I'm looking for here is "The purpose of guttering is simple." So when I search for that, I can see here that there are 3 separate pages which contain exactly the same content. There, there, and there. Now, this is not a good idea, although there are some valid reasons why a website may have several pages containing identical content. An example could be that if you have an FAQs page on your website which covers a general list of FAQs, even though it may be broken down into categories, but then if you have separate pages for each of those categories that describes the products or services that you're offering, and it makes sense to repeat some of those FAQs on those specific pages, then that, I would say, is a valid reason for having duplicate content. These, however, look like the pages have been inadvertently released. In particular, this one here, which I'm trying to highlight, but it's the author administrator page. That is not something which should ever have found its way onto Google. Right, we've seen through testing that we could find some problems with websites for businesses within service industries. Some of those problems were not that big, some were a little bit more significant, and it could be argued that websites for such companies like window cleaning companies, electricians, plumbers and so on are not crucial to the day-to-day operation of those businesses, even though those websites are important. When it comes to e-commerce, however, it's a different story. You'll be expecting to select products or maybe admission tickets or something like that you're going to be wanting to buy, and there'll be delivery options. You'll be expected to agree to terms and conditions, put them in the shopping basket, and obviously pay. But any obstacle that you place in front of a customer when they're trying to go through this process could easily lose that customer, and therefore you lose revenue. Similar can be said for this example that we're going to have a look at now. Now, the recipient of a gift voucher from this company is advised to go to this website, look for the Got a Voucher button, and then once they click on that, you enter a code and redeem your voucher against experiences and things like that. So now I've been talking, I'm kind of locked on this page. I can't scroll up and down until I've closed this. The reason I'm here in the first place is that I've got a voucher to redeem, so I'm not interested in £10 off. So I'm going to close that. But you'll also notice down the bottom right hand corner that it says thanks for signing up. Now, I've got no idea why that has appeared. So I'm kind of confused. I don't want to see that. And where's my Got a Voucher button? So bear with me while I look with it. Now, I'll admit that I've been to this website already in the past, and I actually know where it is. The reason I'm showing you it now is because it confused me then, and I'm showing you how that confusion arose. When I first came to this web page, I did what I tend to do out of habit, is I just start to have a quick look around, and therefore I start scrolling. If I hadn't have done that, I might, although it's not that clear, I might have seen it up here. But what I did is I started scrolling even a centimetre, I guess, and it's now hidden from view. But that's the very thing that I'm looking for, and I simply can't find it. So I would put that one down as a usability issue, which is stopping me proceeding, and I wasn't particularly happy to have those additional pop-ups, and especially the one down the bottom right saying thanks for signing up, because quite honestly I've got no idea what they think I've signed up for. I've not done anything at all.